Round 4 of the GP4 OC takes place here in Russia, in Sochi, for the Russian Grand Prix. Sochi, which is of course the host of the 2014 Winter Olympics, and of course this track built around the Olympic Village of the 2014 Winter Olympics. This circuit is actually the 4th longest track on the calendar, which I didn't actually know, behind Spa, Baku and Silverstone. And Mercedes so far are the only team to win in the 3 years we've been in Russia, as you can see. Jamie Mackenzie winning in 2014, 15 and 16. So the big question is, can someone topple Mackenzie here in Russia? He is the king of Russia. So we'll see in this race if anyone can beat Mackenzie. And this season it's definitely been an interesting start. We've had a Red Bull win, 2 Ferrari wins so far, with Joseph Willis winning in China and of course in the last round in Bahrain, beating Will Neller. Lap record set by Jamie Mackenzie, who would have guessed. In 2016 on 138.0, the circuit length 5.848 kilometers, 19 corners. There'll be 53 laps of this circuit. The tyres we'll be using for this race will be the super soft tyres, and the driver of the day, of course, from Bahrain was Joseph Willows, which is not really much of a surprise. So that is that as far as we're concerned. So let's take a look at the starting grid for Russia. So on the front row of the grid we have Joseph Willows and Amar Khan for Ferrari and Red Bull. With qualifying by both of those two drivers, Willows just narrowly beating Khan by 71 thousandths. Milos Gal in 3rd with Will Neller in 4th. On row 2 of the grid, row 3, 5th and 6th is Florian Volker and Rick Yan for Ferrari and Force India. Row 4 is Tirabi now Tiranen, once again another great qualifying by the Thai driver in 7th, and Julius Anderson in 8th position for Williams. It's not been a great season so far for Williams. Let's hope they improve in this race. Row 5, the 2 Toro Rossos, Mocho and Franco Gamba. And speaking of Francos, 11th place is Franco Lopez, and row to Gamba is 12th, so a lot of Francos and Gambas in those 2 rows. 13th place is George Roque with Roland Moitian 14th for Williams and for Haas. Evan Byrne 15th and Oliver Glazebrook 16th for Renault and McLaren. Of course, the reason why they're so far off in Q2 is because it was wet in Q1 and Q2. Etienne Jones 17th position with Jamie Mackenzie, a shock bad qualifying by him, only 18th position, so he'll have his work cut out if he wants to win today. Joel Husser and Nicolas Pascali 19th and 20th on row 11, and on row 12 is the 2 Salvers of Paolino Tomaselli and Felix Sontag, so no one expected that after qualifying. But the race day, it will be a dry race, 0% chance of rain, so let's see what is going to happen for the 4th Russian Grand Prix in the OC. Of course, we've got that long run to the proper first corner, so it's going to be interesting to see who gets the jump as the lights now come on for the Russian Grand Prix. And who is going to get the jump towards turn 1? We're underway, and it looks like Willows has got a pretty good start, and Carr's not quite got as good a start as him, and he's almost being overtaken by Gal there as they head towards the first corner. Side by side, I think Gal might actually have sneaked his way through past Carr into the first corner. Has he? Yes, I think he has. Neller trying to make it through on Carr, but he doesn't make it stick. Volker in 5th and 6th, and a bit of contact there between Mocho and Julius Anderson around the first corner. It looks like they've all got through. Oh no, and there's damage. I think Mackenzie might have damage, and yes, he does. He's lost his rear wing, and wow, it really is going to be work cut out for Mackenzie to try and win today. Now, unfortunately, Nicolas Pascali just goes into the back of him there, and there was another car damage. It was a Sauber, and it looks like it was Tomaselli who unfortunately went into the back of the McLaren there, and this was the contact between Mocho and Anderson, and Mocho nearly spins the car, but fortunately he manages to control it right in front of Anderson, right in front of Gamba and Lopez. Let's have a look on board with Etienne Jones, who started down the order. So he's already moved up 3 places there, gets past those 2 cars before the first corner. He nearly runs into the back of Roque there. That was very, very close. Now as he heads towards the first corner, and he gets past Roque, he gets a hit from behind. Don't think he gets any damage, but he moves up into 12th position, so that's a pretty good start for Jones, I have to say. He's moved up a whole number of positions there on the first lap. As we're looking now at the battle for P3, Neller close behind Amar Khan, even though he's got a very heavy fuel load, so it looks like he's probably going for the 1-stop, considering it's only 53 laps. And he heads towards the end of the back straight, and Khan defends to the right, doesn't make a move. It's probably the main overtaking spot on this circuit. Now Tiranen is right behind Rick Yan in the Force India, but at the moment Willows has already got himself a gap of a second over Gal. Carr in 3rd, Neller in 4th, Volker in 5th, Yan in 6th, 7th is now Tiranen, 8th is Mocho, 9th is Anderson, and 10th is Lopez at the moment on the top 10 as they head around towards the end of the first lap, and Willows already looks to be getting away. A great start for the Ferrari driver, as Nella is right behind the back of Carr, and Anderson's under pressure from Lopez. They got Franco Gamma as well, and it looks like, I mean, they've kept it relatively clean apart from obviously what happened on the first corner, but there's a lot of cars all one behind each other. There could be several overtakes happening, although it is very difficult to overtake at this circuit, as Mocho is trying to overtake now, turning into the first corner, and he doesn't make it stick. He stays behind Lopez, makes a late move on the inside and passes Anderson for 9th. Good move by him. Oh, looks like a bit of contact between Moitian and Roque there, heading through turn 1. That's allowed Felix Sontag to try and make a move on Roland Moitian, who's stuck, unfortunately, in this pack of cars. And there's a yellow flag out, I think, on the track ahead. And oh, and there's a cut. Oh, that is now Tiranen. Oh, my word. That's a very dodgy place to spin there. And it was of his own making. And so he goes wide there and spins right on the racing line. And that could have been the end. I think that was Mocho he almost hit, or Mocho nearly hit him. Oh, had to move to the right there, and this was Sontag. Actually, did Sontag actually make the move before the yellow flags? As we look, and yet he's passed for P16, and yet there got the yellow flag, so he's just about got away with it, has Sontag, so he's not going to get a penalty for that. As we look at the Force India of Rick Yan all over the back of Florian Volker, heading towards the first corner, and he doesn't make it stick. As we're looking at Gamma now on the inside of Anderson to turn 1, doesn't make it stick. Now Glazebrook all over the back of Jones, doesn't make it stick. If you don't make it stick there, you can really compromise yourself and allow drivers behind to make a move. Byrne, I don't know if he's quite close on making a move on Glazebrook there, but he failed to make the move on Jones. But so far we've seen a lot of, there's Sontag trying to overtake Roque there, and Sontag goes a little bit wide and now has lost all that momentum. And what's happened here? So Jones has lost several places there. He must have made a mistake as Byrne makes it past Glazebrook. And Byrne's gained himself a few positions there, and Roque has gained a few as well. So Jones has actually made a pretty good start, moved up several positions. And he does the same thing that now Tiernan did just a lap ago. Locks up, goes wide, doesn't spin, but gets a terrible run off the corner. Glazebrook goes by, but Evan Byrne goes past Glazebrook and Jones there, so he took full advantage of that. As you're looking at going through the corner, so Glazebrook getting held up there, and Byrne managing to get past Jones and has the slipstream to get on the inside of Glazebrook, and he makes it stick up into P11, so Byrne took full advantage of that, and Roque tried to get past Glazebrook as well, but it didn't work. Now here is Jan, who's still been stuck behind Volker for the last 5 laps or so, still can't make it through, and they've got Mocho, who is pretty close behind as well, so we'll see if he can make a move or not. As we're looking here at Roland Moitian, who is coming through down in 60th position, and does he make a move? No, he's not got anyone behind him. He's got Hutter behind him, and he goes wide, and he's lost a position to Hutter, and he's also a position to now Tiernan as well, so it's been a pretty, well, it's not been a good start for Williams. Unfortunately, this season has been pretty poor, to say the least. So as we're looking at Jamie Kenty, who's trying to get past the Sauber of Tomaselli coming through the final couple of corners. Tomaselli locks up a bit, and McKenzie makes it through up into P20. So I guess you could say he still has a chance of winning, but as long as he races, but I don't think he's going to be able to. We'll see. So this is what happened again. So you can see Tomaselli just locks up, goes a little bit wide there, and unfortunately loses control, and he's going to get past him sooner rather than later anyway. So as we go back to Franco Lopez, who's in the pits, and actually there's a car in front of him. That is Michael Mocho, who's pitting as well on the same laps. It's pretty early, so I imagine these guys might be doing the Prix, which could work, but at the same time you don't want to get stuck in traffic, because as you've seen around here, it's not very easy to overtake. Well, certainly here, and even in real life. Well, certainly in real life, and even here as well, it's not easy to overtake. So we'll see what happens. So who will win this pit stop battle here? Will Mocho come up still in front of Lopez? And the answer is yes, he does. So they're going to come out near the back of the grid. So actually, for a second I thought Jose Wills was coming to lap them. I was thinking surely he's not that far ahead, and he wasn't. So as Mocho comes out in 16th position, Lopez will come out in 17th, and Joel Hutter is in quite early on as well for Haas. I don't know if he had a problem or not, but that's pretty early for him, and he was stuck at the back, so who knows. Now Evan Byrne comes into the pits behind the Toro Rosso of Franco Gamba, so another pit stop battle occurring here. So we're going to see who wins this one, Toro Rosso or Renault. Toro Rosso came on top in the previous battle, as Franco Gamba comes into his pit box before Byrne does, so here we go. Let's have a look. So Byrne, let's see what his pit stop is. Change all four tyres. So be doing. It looks like he's doing the 3-stop as well. And does he come out ahead of Frank and Gamma? No, he doesn't. Gamma still stays ahead. So Byrne has to wait for it to go by. So the battle will resume on track as they come out of the long pit exit. As Mocho looked like he was trying a move there on the car in front of him, and now that's allowed Franco Lopez to close up right behind him, and I think he might make the move here, but hold on, he might have made the overtake on the yellow flag because the yellow flag out and Glazebrook is out. Oliver Glazebrook is out, the first retirement of the race, and his car is just about off track there, and it looks like he may have had a crash, I think, possibly. I don't think, oh well, it could easily be a car failure, I don't know, but as the car gets between, no, it was a crash, as we saw Joseph Willis in the pit, so what happened here, so... And oh, Julius Anderson went wide, and oh dear, oh dear. I think that is probably Anderson's fault. That one. Anderson made that same mistake again. This time, rejoined right into the path of Oliver Glazebrook, and Glazebrook is out of the Russian Grand Prix, the first retirement of the race. So, as this was the move that Lopez made, and did he make the move? I mean, the yellow flag was out, but did he make it before the yellow flag zone? I think he might, yes, I think he might have once again just about got away with that, I think, has Franco Lopez. So he can consider himself a very lucky boy that he's got away with that, I think, unless it comes up on the screen. But no, it looks like he has got away with it, just. But Mocho is, as Lopez locks up there, that's going to allow Mocho a good run, but he's not going to make it around the outside, is he, or will he? No, he doesn't. Lopez holds off there, but see, Joseph Willis is in the pits for... Ferrari. He's had a pretty exceptional race so far, taking the lead at the start and already had a gap to the two Red Bulls behind him. Ideally helped, obviously, by the fact that Nella, I mean, he seems to have had the pace, but obviously, unfortunately for Nella, he's got the heavy fuel load as Anderson is just coming to the pits now. Roke right now running in P7 at the moment. Of course, he's not pitting, he's got a lot of time before he does pit, as Willows does come out ahead of his teammate Volker, who will try and make a move. Oh, that could have gone so badly wrong there. Fortunately, it didn't. And so Willis crucially does come out ahead of Volker and Jan, as Jan, who has been stuck behind Volker for at least the last 10 laps and failed to get back past him. So here is Sontag and now Turunen battling for 8th position. Now Turunen trying to recover after that spin earlier on. Sontag defends to the inside, so now Turunen won't bother making a move there. Could make it through the long corner of turn 3 as we've got a big train behind Sontag now. As you can see, we've got Sontag, we've got now Turunen, we've got... So, no, never mind. Nope, never mind. And Sontag has spun off, it looks like of his own accord. I don't think there was contact. So I'll have a look at the replay, and as you can see coming through the chicane, I call that there. Coming through the double right-hander, coming through the first one, and I don't know, I don't think there was contact. Let's have a look again. No, there wasn't. There absolutely wasn't contact, so it was an error of Sontag's own making. So he drops down to 10th. Now here is Lopez all over the back of Roland Moitian, trying to make a move, but Moitian not making it easy, and Mocho is there, ready to take him in case Lopez struggles to get by, which he can't. So Mocho is now right behind. He's going to be in the slipstream. So will he try and make the move around turn 3, or turn 2? I mean, it's so confusing. I'd consider, obviously, that corner turn 1. But Mocho, is he going to try around the inside? And he... oh, not quite. And Lopez defends for him once again, so he can't make the move stick there. He's going to have to wait until the front straight, or even the back straight, to make the move there. So this was Rick Jan and Volker that we just saw. Obviously, Willows coming out of the pit. So I think we're looking at Jan coming through. He's in the slipstream of Volker. I don't know if he's going to be able to make the move, although will he? Not sure. Doesn't make it there. Volker was looked to be quite all over the place, to be honest. And Jan, oh no, Jan did launch it down the inside, and let's see if he actually did make it stick. And the answer is yes, he did. So that was a good move there by by Jan. Sorry. As we're looking at, oh dear, that's a crash between Joel Hutter and Pascali there, and it looked like Pascali just braked in the middle of the corner there, which is really weird. Look at it again. So Hutter was closing up to the back of him. He was had the pace, and then it looks like, does he move over there? Yeah, he looks like he moves over there right in front of Hutter, and Hutter had nowhere to go. So that has cost both of those drivers dearly. So they're both going to have to pit for new wings, front and rear. So that'll come on board from Pascali's point of view. Yeah, you can see he slows down on the on the dash there on the speedometer. And yeah, I don't know what he was doing there, Pascali, but unfortunately he's cost himself a chance of a good result, and also, well, cost Hutter a chance of a good result. So we're looking at this battle here. This is between Moitian, Lopez, and Mocho. Lopez, who still hasn't got past Mocho, despite who hasn't got past Moitian, despite the fact he's on much fresher tyres than he is, and of course he's got Mocho behind him for company as well. This is Willows and Nella coming through. There was almost a bit of contact there. I think they just about got away with it there. Does Willows make it through the next corner? The answer is yep, he does. So Willows getting past Nella there, moving up into P3. So some drivers, it seems not too hard for them to overtake here. But as we're looking at Willows, who's already on the back of Armour Car, and there's Gal, who's just in front as well. So already the pace is looking pretty good for Ferrari so far, as Anderson comes into the pits. And hang on a second. Yeah, he was in the pits not a few laps ago with the clash with Glazebrook. So what's happened here? So he's chasing Mackenzie, goes wide and goes over the curb and loses his front wing. Oh my word! It's been a pretty. I mean, it couldn't have gone much worse for Anderson if it tried. It really, everything that could have happened to him has happened to him so far this season. I mean, Moitian has scored points, but of course he could have had so many more had he not had that car failure on the last lap in China, where he would have had a top 4. So it's just not been Williams' season so far, as Julius Anderson has received a 25-second time penalty for causing the incident with Glazebrook, just to compound his misery, just to put a knife in his heart, just to really, well, he's put a knife in, and it's just been twisted. That has, as Jan has just come out ahead of now Turunen. Lopez is going to try once again to get past Moitian. Moitian once again blocks into turn 1 and still doesn't make a stick, and Mocho is there as well, but it is still very difficult to overtake on this track. Willows is now on the back of car, still can't get past him at the moment. He's going to try and squeeze on the inside. I think he's just about side by side. As he note, Car has got his car in front. I mean, there's so many puns you can make with that. As he stays behind him, Willows, so he doesn't make it stick. As we're looking at, will Lopez make about the 10th move on Moitian to turn 1, and Moitian does exactly the same thing. He reads him like a book, and Lopez still can't get through. Now Mocho's there. Now Franco Gamba is there as well. So so is the Renault. I think that is of now Turunen is there as well. Oh dear me, as Moitian really is holding up Lopez, and it's really badly affecting his race. As we're looking at Roken, Roke's got a car failure, and Roken's got an oil leak, and that is going to be his race over. And dear, unfortunately, that's not good for him, as there's a car off, and Nella's off, and Nella is out, and Nella is out of the Russian Grand Prix. That's exactly what he didn't want. His strategy was possibly looking good, but unfortunately, it ain't now. And what has happened to him? So I think he was on his own. He was a few seconds behind Willows, and it looks like it was a mistake of his own making. Yes, it was. He goes wide, and he spins, and then when he tries to get going, doesn't get the turning circle right, and unfortunately, he crashes out of the Russian Grand Prix. So that's his race over and out. Oh dear, oh dear. And there we go. So Nella's race is over. And obviously he just lapped the manor there. That must have been of Pascali, I think. And yeah, just tried to rejoin, and unfortunately there was a wall there. So no chance of that, of him getting through the wall. So here is Roland Moitian, who is still ahead of Lopez as he comes through the corner, and he logs up, he goes wide, and surely Lopez must get through now. Yes, he does. Does Motra get through as well? Yes. And does Gamba get through? Yes. And Byrne doesn't get through yet. But now Motra is still behind Lopez, because he's definitely been quicker, as Roke's car is on fire. And oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So that's not going anywhere. Spreading oil all over the track. So he's going to have to pull off somewhere. He's going to pull off, it looks like, on the pit straight, possibly, because he's never going to go much further than that with the car in flames. He comes onto the start-finish straight, so he's completed the lap. As he not quite. You can see the finish line as all the cars go past him there. He does complete the lap, but Roke's race is over, and it's in flames. No pun intended. And there we go. So that's his race over and out, just like that. Done and dusted. There we go. So Roke is out. That is the third retirement of the race, I think. As we're looking at Sontag making his stop now, Tiernan has just come in. Mackenzie at the moment is now up into 12th. Sontag has just made his stop as well. Hutter all over the back of Thomas Haley like a cheap suit as they come through the final corner. Hutter, who unfortunately has not had the greatest race. I mean, he was on the 3 stop, it looked like, but he was stuck at the back, and unfortunately it's not really done him any favours. So he is, well, Willers, I was about to say, was on the back of Carr, but Carr has taken his car into the pits for his first stop, as Pascali has received a 15-second time penalty because of an incident with Hutter, which is deserved. So, looking at Carr coming into the pits, and let's see, how quick is his stop, and will he be on a 2? And the answer is he will be on a 2 stop, so that is interesting to see. So he's on a 2. Well, I'm not really surprised. It would have been stupid for him to do a 3. So he'll be pitting fairly close to the end, probably about 10 laps to the end, I would think, around about that. So he comes out behind Miklos Gau, who is not pitting for quite a few laps yet. Volker at the moment is running P2, but he's going to be pitting in a few laps' time. It looks like he's probably going to be doing a 1 stop, I would think, as Ricciardo tries to get past Gau into turn 2 there and doesn't make a stick. There's the yellow flag out, and Vega Lopez is out, and he is out at the final corner on the pit straight there. And was it a car failure or was it an incident? And it was a suspension failure, that's what it was. So we're looking at Lopez coming through around a couple of corners. He had Mocho all over him, and I guess that it just was too much for him, and there it goes. There it goes. You can see, I think it's the right front there, looks like. It seems to be a little bit high off the ground, so I think that was the reason. Here is Rick Yan all over the back of Amar Carr, and I think this is actually a battle for position, because Rick Yan is on a similar strategy to Carr, so this is a legitimate battle here. So Yan is all over the back of Carr. He's almost pushing him through the corner, and oh, he goes wide, and and Carr's off, and Carr's out, and his car is destroyed by hitting the wall and hitting the Fly Emirates sign, and he'll be wanting to get that flight out of here after that. And so under pressure from Rick Yan, who's almost pushing him down that straight and almost pushing him through the corner as well, and unfortunately for Carr, that is his race over and out, just like that, done and dusted. Boom. So that's his race over. So that's good news for Yan, and good news for Willers as well. Actually, I would say there wasn't any contact. He just went wide there and into the wall. So there we go, another retirement. So here we are looking on board with Julius Anderson, who is running in 60th, who has made yet another error. Oh dear. And he goes wide and rejoins the circuit, but fortunately doesn't hit anyone. Rolomoichin does now come in, I believe, for his, I think this is his first stop of the race, I'm pretty sure. So he comes in to the pits for his first stop of the race. And let's see, they're surely not going to put him on a 1 stop, that would be stupid, I would imagine. And the answer is no, they don't, so
just prepare yourself.
He'll be pitting quite late at the end, which I don't know if it will be in much advantage. Well, it depends, I suppose, if there's any traffic and whatnot, because I mean there's been a lot of battling going on in the mid-pack, so we'll see. So where does he come out on track? He comes out in 11th, so he comes out just behind now Tiernan in the points. Now here is the Red Bull of Miklos Gau, the only Red Bull now in the race, who's behind the Ferrari of Volker. So Volker needs to do Willers a favour here, because obviously Gau is one of the main contenders to try and win this race. We've got another yellow flag out on the circuit, and it's Roland Moitian. Oh dear, and it looks like a crash by the looks of it, and it is. So he just come out of the pits on the fresher tyres, and I suppose still on cold tyres technically, and you can see coming through, yep, just goes wide there and slips on the curb and just clips the edge of the wall. That's his race over. So that's another retirement. We've had several retirements over the past, like, what, 5 to 10 laps? We had the first one in Glazebrook, I think, on like lap 13, and we've now had about, I think, 5 or 6 retirements happening in these last 10 laps. So here's Mackenzie, who's now actually up into the points for Mercedes, and, well, he loses a place. And he's out. So that means we'll have a new winner. We'll have a new winner in Russia this year, so Mackenzie will not be winning the Russian Grand Prix. Mercedes will not be the kings of Russia anymore. There'll be a new heir to the throne. So Willers now comes in for his second stop. He'll be pitting, of course, once more before the end. Volker, I believe, who's still going around. I think he's going to be pitching in a lap or two's time. But Willows, does he come out ahead of Volker or not? The answer is Volker's just come across the line, so I believe Willows will be ahead, I think. Will he? No, he's not. So Gal does come out ahead, and he's just coming out ahead of Riccian as well. That was a really awkward place to come out there. But at the moment, Gal is ahead of Willows, but of course they both have to pit before the end. So I suppose Gal really needs to get past Volker, as Jan is all over the back of the back of Willows there. So Gal needs to get past Volker. Jan needs to get past Willows if Gal wants any chance of winning this race, because of course he'll be pitting once more and he'll be going to the end, but of course Willows will be pitting later on. So he needs Volker to get out of the way ASAP if he wants to win this race, because Willows is already coming. He's already there, pretty much. Look at that. Look at how much he's gained in that corner. That's unbelievable how much he just gained there. So Gal's now he's under pressure from Willows here, so he needs to keep a calm head. But of course, unfortunately, he's stuck on a Ferrari sandwich, which is the worst sandwich to be in. And as we look at them coming through the back straight, heading towards the right-hander, he defends to the right Volker, so he doesn't allow Gal to get through. So Gal, I don't know when Volker's coming in, and he still isn't coming in yet, so he's going to have to wait, I guess, for a lap. And no, Volker's gone wide, and now Gal has made it stick, although Volker is low on fuel, so he's going to be coming into the pits pretty soon. But finally, Gal has got the break he needed, but unfortunately not how he wanted it, because Willows is still behind him. So he's going to need to he really is going to have to pull all the tactics out of the bag. He's going to really have to park the bus if he wants to keep Willows behind. If he has any chance of winning this race, he needs to do that, as Tomaselli locks up and allows the Manor to go past him there. So Willows is all over the back of Gal, and Jan is pretty close as well. So I mean, Jan is actually technically in this battle for the win, possibly, at this moment in time. So he is in with a shout here. So I mean, it's kind of nowhere really, Jan. I was not expecting it, to be honest. And Willows all over the back of Gal, and he's not going to make it here, I don't think, unless Gal makes a mistake. As Willows tries it on the inside, he's not going to make it there because Gal holds it. So Jan is there in the background, so he's just hoping that these guys, you know, they do, you know, they get too close for comfort, and, you know, accidentally spin out, and that would allow Jan to take the lead. But I don't think Jan's quite got the pace of Willows and Gal. Well, certainly not Willows anyway. But he's still there. As long as he keeps the gap relatively small, he could still have a chance here. Volker now comes in for his first and, I believe, his only stop of the race. So we'll see. So look, so he changes all four tires. He was quite low on fuel there. He was really cutting it fine. Yet he will be going to the end of the race. So he comes out of pit box, and so Frank Gamble will take the position there. He'll take P4. Will also be pitting before the end. Willows, he's not quite as close around there to Gal as he has been, although he's going to get in close here. So Frank Gamma, I think I just saw, was going into the pits this lap, and he is. I saw the Manor in the pits of Jones, who was about to come in. So Willows now all over the back of Gal as they come towards the right-hander, and so Willows is all over the back of him. Jan is just about there in the background, waiting to see what's going to happen between the two. He tries to make the move there, Willows. It doesn't work as they come through onto the back straight. And he's got a pretty bad run out of the corner, so I don't think he's going to make the move stick on this time round. So he's got to wait until next lap, I would think. So Gal, at the moment, he's doing pretty well, but he's going to have to really... He's got several laps where he fits. Oh, he locks up there, Gal. He locks up. He's really struggling to keep. He's really struggling to keep the pace at the moment. He really wants to keep Willows behind, and I think his tires are dead. His tires are dead. As we're looking at him coming through, right, you can see he just locks up there. Fortunately, keeps it on the road, but obviously that doesn't help locking his tires. Willow's still all over the back of him like a cheap suit, and Jan's still there, just watching with telescope in the background there as we're coming through the right-hander. And Gal's gone wide. And Gal's gone wide, and I think that may have just given Willows the win from this race, because I think that may be it. Gal, who's under pressure once again, loses the position to Willows, and I don't know if he actually lost it to Jan or not, but Jan nearly made it on the outside. I couldn't quite see if he had or not. But here we are looking at a battle for P6. This is Mocho. Oh, this is now Tiernan, Mocho, and Byrne. So Mocho in a Renault sandwich. So we're looking at Pascali under pressure from the Haas of Joel Hutter. So this was Gal. He did actually drop behind Rick Yan in the end. And Yan made the same mistake that Gal did. So Gal takes the position back from Rick Yan there and moves back up into second place. So I thought Yan might have been in the shout with a victory here, but I don't know. That mistake has probably cost him as well. I mean, we've still got several laps to go at the moment, so you never know what can happen as Volker locks up a little bit, struggling on those tyres at this moment in time, although he's in a pretty safe position in P4. You just need to get those tyres to the end, and that should be okay. As we look at Volker, you can see he locks up, and he's lucky he didn't go another metre or so wider, because he could have gone off the curb and then who knows. So here is Gal, who's coming in for his final stop of the race. So Yan will continue to go round. But Gal comes in, he'll obviously go to the end. So obviously, we'll see if Yan decides to pit a lap or so later or not. So we will see for sure. So obviously Gal going to the end. Got a yellow flag out somewhere. I think that's the end of the back straight, I think. And there's a wheel there, and it's Tomaselli. And Paulino Tomaselli is out of the Russian Grand Prix. That's another retirement. They're falling like flies at the moment. And wow, so it was an accident as well. So it looks like it was an accident that we've seen before. So we'll have to see the replay of that. So Tomaselli was running in a very lonely 15th position. He was pretty much last. He is last. Goes wide and then goes into the wall. So that means there's only 14 cars left in this race. As we're looking at Julius Anderson, who is defending from Joel Hutter, coming into the... Oh, never mind. And he goes around. So, oh dear. That's what, the fourth spin I think Anderson's had in this race? Third or fourth? It's just not been his day. It's not been his day at all. It's been a pretty rough return to the OC for Julius Anderson so far. And there we go, just spins it there. Hutter says thank you very much and takes the position there. So here is the battle for P. This is the battle for P5 between now Tiernan, Mocho, and Byrne, who is just about there in the background as well. Rick Yan has come in for his final stop, but the thing is, obviously, Gal is stuck behind Volker yet again. Of course, this is a battle for position because Volker's not pitting. He's going to the end. So will Volker manage to hold on to the podium here? I'm not sure. Where's Yan? I don't know if... I think Yan... No, Yan is obviously still in the pit. So but of course, if Gal cannot get past Volker, then Yan will close up rapidly, and they've got a little bit of traffic ahead of them as well. But I mean, Gal will be on fresher tyres. Volker, who we've seen has been struggling. I actually thought Gal would come out in front of Volker, but apparently not. I didn't obviously realise the gaps between the two. So Volker laps the McLaren there. So Gal will have to do that soon. So Yan comes out in P4. Now Tiernan is going to be pitting this lap. So he's in a battle with Mocho and I think with Byrne behind him. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets the top 5 here. So now Tiernan, who's going to come into the pits this lap. Mocho will be pitting probably 2 or 3 laps later. It was going to be an interesting battle. I mean, it's been a good recovery from now Tiernan. This has shades of what he did in China, where he spun early on. Oh my word! And wow! And Mocho just makes the move there on now Tiernan, and that was insanely close. Blimey! And how they didn't make contact with each other, I have no idea. But he just got a really, really good run through the long left-hander there. Mike Mocho made it past now Tiernan, so there we go. So now Tiernan will be happy that he's pitting this lap. Probably the tyres are once again dead. So Willows, who's still got a few laps to go before he pits, what's the gap? 29 seconds. That's definitely enough for Willows to get in front of Volker at the moment. Of course, Volker he ain't getting faster because that's going to be his pace. And I think I saw there, now Tiernan is in the pits, but Franco Gamba and I think Byrne are going to be pitting on the same lap, I believe. And yes, they are. Byrne is going to come in, and Franco Gamba is going to come in behind him as well. So this is going to be a pit stop battle once again. So Byrne is going to come in to the pits, into his pit box. Gamba will come in as well, but it's behind. So who's going to come out in front? Will it be Byrne or will it be Gamba? And the answer is... And it's going to be Gamba. Gamba has jumped Byrne in the stop there. Good work there by the Toro Rosso crew. Mocho will be pitting next lap as well. But wow, that is crucial, as Jones actually is moved up into 6th position. Does he have to pit before the end, Jones? I'm actually not sure. As now Tiernan has got ahead of Byrne out of the pits. So Gamma has... no, he had already got past now Tiernan. No, it was Mocha that got past now Tiernan, wasn't it? So I think Gamma has actually jumped now Tiernan in the stops there. So I'm going to be interested to see if, where Mocho is going to come out. But here's a bit of a P2 once again. Jan is now really close with lack of gap because he still hasn't got past Volker. He's got a bad run through the penultimate corner now, coming through the final corner, 10 laps to go. And right now for Willows, he's obviously still got one more stop, but it's 30 seconds. That is going to be enough for him to come out ahead. It's now 30.5 seconds. Gal got a poor run off the final corner there. Jan is now all over his chuff. He's now moving to the inside. No, Gal's going to defend that. It's going to give Volker a crucial bit of breathing space as we're looking at Willis, who still isn't going to be pitting. So Frank Gamma now all over the back of Jones, who... Is he pitting this lap? He must be. I'd be stunned if he isn't. As now Tiernan comes through, he's right behind as well. So we need to get past Jones ASAP. Does Frank Gamma. Now Mocho is in the pits. Gamma now tried to make it on the inside there. Didn't make it work. So Mocho comes in. Where is Mocho going to come out? That is going to be very interesting to see.
No pressure.
So he makes the stop. How quick is it? 6.8. That's average, I guess. So as they come around the final goal, I think Mocho could jump all these guys, actually. I think he could. This could be very close. And Mocho is coming out of the pit. And I think he's going to jump all of these guys. As he comes out of the pit box, Gamma all over the back of Jones. He can't make it through there. And there is Mocho just in the distance. And Jones, as a matter of fact, is going to be pitting this lap. So that is not what Gamma needed, but that is great news for Michael Mocho, who has jumped all of these guys, or at least stayed ahead of them, because they were held up. As now Tiernan now all over the back of Gamma, who got a bad run out of the first corner. As would he make the move on the inside? He does. He makes it. Does he make it stick? And oh no, he doesn't. He outbraked himself. Gamma gets back through, and Byrne gets through as well. Oh, and I thought now Tiernan had made a fantastic dive bomb into turn 4 there, and unfortunately I thought he honestly had made it stick, but just not quite enough, and just went a little bit wide, lost the momentum. Gamma got through and Byrne has got through, so now Byrne is going to attack Franco Gamba, as here we are looking at Rick Jan all over the back of Miklos Gal, and as we're looking at this is coming onto the back straight. So does Jan make the move on the inside of Miklos Gal? Yes, he does. Look at that. Look at the speed of the Mercedes engine onto the back straight there, and wow, look at that. That's quite incredible. Just the amount of speed that Jan had there just gets through on Gal pretty easily. And here's the battle once again occurring. This is going to be, well, this is now going to be for P6, as Byrne tries it on the inside in the final corner, or into the penultimate corner. It doesn't make it stick. Now Tiernan is there as well. So this is a big battle for P6 at the moment. Mocho is pretty much clear of this in P5. So we'll now turn and try and make a move on Byrne into turn 1. He's in the slipstream, but I don't think he's close enough. Byrne does move to the inside, as Joseph Willis does finally come in for his final stop of the race. Jones is obviously in for his final stop as well. Joel Hutter's in for his final stop too. So Willows comes out, 6.8 seconds. Not a bad stop. Julius Anderson in 11th, but he's going to pit. And now Rick Jan and Gal all over the back of Florian Volker, and Willows is going to come comfortably in the lead of this race. So there we go. So it's been a pretty comfortable race from Willows from start to finish, as Sontag is going to attempt to lap Willows into the first corner. Surely he won't do it. No, he doesn't. Volker holding up Jan, and Gal is obviously still there because they just can't get past Volker. He's on the one stop, and at the moment it's working pretty well for him, but he's going to struggle to keep both Jan and Gal behind, although Jan's got a poor run off the corner there, and he's going to try and make a move on Jan coming through turn 3. It's side by side between the two, and Jan will keep the position. She's got the better run into the corner. Volker looks to be all over the place. He's struggling on those tyres at this moment in time. So, oh my word. And looking at Anderson, who's in the moment in the points, but of course, unfortunately, he has to pit before the end. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So it looks like now Tiernan has fallen off the back of Franco Gamba at this moment in time. So as he goes a little bit wide, coming through the... Oh, he's gone wide again! And burns through. He's back ahead, up into 7th position. Oh dear. Unfortunately for now, Tiernan, he's certainly proven to be a quick driver this season, but he's made quite a few mistakes. Could have easily had a better result than he's had. At the moment, he's going to finish 8th, it looks like, and he could have easily had 5th position. So here is Volker, Jan, and Gal as they're coming through. And oh, Volker makes a mistake, and Jan and Gal, I think, are through there. And Volker is finally cracked. And you can see just, I don't know how he didn't spin there. He almost did. Slid through the corner, drifted through there, and nearly actually collected. That's sketchy. But they're finally through. Jan is up into P2. Gal is on the podium. But Jan is P2, and he'll be pretty chuffed with that. As this currently is the battle for the final points position. This is between Felix Sonntag and Joel Hutter. So we'll see what happens with that. Hutter, who is on the fresher tyre. Sonntag, I think he was on like the 2 stop or the 1. So at the moment, as the two runners once again battling, as now Turin actually has got back through past Byrne. Oh my word! So did Byrne make a mistake? And yes, he did. He locks up and goes wide. So well, Frankie Gamba is well clear of these guys now because they're just constantly battling with each other. The runners, no team orders there. So wow. So the two runners still constantly battling, and then now Turin made it through up into 7th position, and then as we're looking at him coming through the penultimate 2 corners, and he makes another mistake again. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't know what the Renault boss is going to think of this. As we're looking at, this is Rick Jan, who's on the back of Joel Hutter, about to lap him at this moment in time. And obviously he's got Felix Sonntag ahead of him as well. Jones right now running in a very impressive 9th position for Manor. Let's not forget about him. He's had a pretty solid race. Now Turin makes yet another mistake. And oh my word, he's really struggling on those tyres. So, oh dear. Just needs to get to the end because he's going to have 8th place. He's going to have 8th place. And he's clearly not going to get 7th now, so might as well not bother pushing too hard towards the end of the race, because it's going to be quite pointless at this moment in time. This is obviously Hutter, who's been lapped by Jan, and Sonntag, who's been lapped as well. And oh my word, and Joel Hutter nearly runs into the back of Felix Sonntag, coming through onto the back straight there. That was incredibly close. And whew, that could have been tears before bedtime. But we're on the last lap of this race. Joseph Willers is leading the Grand Prix, as he has done from the start. It's going to be the Grand Chem, or however you say the phrase. Pole, fastest lap, and it looks like the win. So he's coming through. He's pretty much led this race from the start. It's not been exactly, I wouldn't say it's been hugely easy for him, but he's dealt with the pressure, and he's going to win with a pretty comfortable margin of 22 seconds. And oh, Volker's got an issue! And Volker's got a problem on the last lap. Oh dear, oh dear. Is he going to get to the end? I don't know how far back Mocho, Gamba, now Turin and Byrne are. But let's see if he does get to the end or not. Does Florian Volker? But an electrical failure on the last lap. He was running in P4. He's got a 20-second gap to Mocho. So if he can keep it to the end, he'll still get 4th place. So as Joseph Willers comes round the final corner, and he is going to win the Russian Grand Prix with a dominant performance. So well done to Joseph Willers. And Volker has not made it. He's not made it to the end. And Florian Volker is going to get, well, I think he's still going to get some points, because I think some of the drivers in the top 10 have been lapped. But, oh my word, so Florian Volker on the last lap, an electrical failure has cost him a chance of getting a decent points finish for him and for Ferrari as well. And oh my word, so that means that's moved, as we look at Etienne Jones taking his first points of the season for Manor. He'll be very happy with that. Rick Yan, a very impressive performance from the Chinese driver. He comes across the line in P2. Felix Sonntag does hold off Joel Hutter to get a point for Sauber, so that's a good result for him. Milos Gal could have been a second for him, but he'll take 3rd. He'll still be happy with the podium. So Pascali under pressure from Julius Anderson for 12th position, but Julius Anderson once again has been a horrific race for the Swede. So Roberto Gamba, we've ever since the start, I think this is the first time we've seen him ever since the start. We've not seen him at all this race. The cameras have been allergic to McLaren, just like in real life. as Michael Mocho, a great result from him. He takes P4. He'll be very, very happy with that indeed. Good pace shown by the British driver. And Frank Gamble will take P5. So top 5 for Toro Rosso. They'll be very happy with that from this race. So well done to them. Evan Byrne will take P6 for Renault. Good race from him. And of course behind him will be now Turner in P7. I mean, he could have been P4 if anything, now Turner, but again he made far too many mistakes from this race. But Joseph Williams is your winner, and a very deserved winner at that. And so far Ferrari have reigned supreme this season, 3 wins out of 4 so far. Here's the full race results. Joseph Willows winning ahead of Rick Gans 2nd, Gallon 3rd, Mocho 4th, Gamba 5th, Byrne 6th, now Turner 7th, Florian Volker still classified in 8th despite that car failure. Etienne Jones 9th and Phoenix on to complete the points in 10th. Joel Hutter in 11th position for Haas. Joseph Willows setting the fastest lap, a 1:34.3, decimating the lap record here. Rotor Gamma moving actually ahead of Pascali and Anderson, who had their penalties for their 2 incidents in the race. Forgot about those. Tomaselli, McKenzie, Moitian, Carr, Lopez, Rope, Nella and Glazebrook, who didn't finish. The Drivers' Championship, and Willows has already, look at the gap he's got to Nicholas Gal behind him. I mean, if Gal wins the next race, Willows will still be top. That's how big it is. Carr in 3rd, Volker in 4th, Nella in 5th, Lopez 6th, Rick Gam moving up to 7th, Mocho 8th, McKenzie 9th, now Turn in 10th, Frankenham moving up to 11th position. And the rest of the order, Evan Byrne up to 12th, Rope 13th, Thomas Eddy 14th, Gamma 15th, Moyton 16th, Sontag 17th, Jones, Hutter, Jones and Hutter, the last drivers to score points, with Glazebrook, Pascali and Anderson, the 3 drivers yet to score points this season. But it does mean, however, that we have had all teams that have scored points this season, with Jones finishing in 9th position. The constructor standings, Ferrari clear ahead of Red Bull in 2nd, Force India moving ahead of Mercedes into 3rd, but no one was saying that before the start of the season. Toro Rosso in 5th, Renault in 6th, Haas in 7th, Sauber in 8th, McLaren 9th, Williams in 10th, and Manor in 11th position. So there it is. That was the Russian Grand Prix. Not the most entertaining of races, but it was still alright nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed. Vote for your driver of the day and give the race rating a 10. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you for the next round, the Spanish Grand Prix at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you there.